Okay, hello YouTube. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to talk a little bit about, cheating on the internet. It's kind of a big topic. It's personally something that I've never done, and certainly something that I will never do. My goal in chess is to learn ideas and to try my ideas against the best players in the world and see how I do. I've never felt the need to cheat or never understood the reason for it. I mean, we already know as a community, we know that Stockfish 12 is better than all of us. So, if we play Stockfish or we play some other engine, we're gonna lose. So, I mean, we're just, we're past the point where man has much of a chance against machines. So I don't see the point in it. I mean, it's sort of like if I were to say, "Hey, I bet I could beat the fastest, runner in the world." I'm just going to get in my car and drive. We already know that a car goes faster than a human being. So, I mean, there's not much point. So, anyways, I'm just going to take a look at this game because I got informed by chess.com, which I get informed on a pretty regular basis, that somebody has cheated against me. So I went looking through all of my opponents, and I finally found this game where the account had been closed for fair play. And I'm kind of curious because, I'm looking at this, and apparently I had a big advantage at one point. So I guess I was outplaying Stockfish, which is not unheard of. Like, if I have something, like you've seen a lot of my videos, if I have something that I've prepped exceptionally well, sometimes I think I do remember this game. I did manage to play a lot of my prep here. I played this kind of well-known sacrificial line. So if I look at the analysis here, 96 is best, and this is actually well-known theory. So this is kind of interesting. I wonder what engine this guy was using, if he was playing h6 or, if he was just interfacing the moves wrong or something. I don't know. But I have played this before, and eventually you kind of have to sack the knight. And I was even a little suspicious after this game was over with, because my opponent seemed to play pretty perfectly. Although I'm like kind of hard pressed. Like almost like, what engine is he using that's recommending Rook B8, or is he just like, maybe he's just like trying the opening on his own and then letting the engine run? I don't know exactly how everybody cheats. I don't know how it works. But apparently I got a pretty big advantage here kind of early on just by playing the normal moves in the position. He took, I'm not sure, like, was taking best, or FE6 is best, so some computers recommending that, and I'm already at +3, but I need to follow up correctly, so Bishop G6 is best. And I'm kind of curious where I went wrong here. Bishop F4 is best. And yeah, this is kind of well known that White has a lot for his material here, because it's very difficult for Black to finish his development. Especially for humans. Humans have a very hard time with this. It's interesting, because like computers are recommending Queen takes B2. I mean, I'd be very curious as to how this person was cheating. It seems to go against what all the engines are saying. 95, and I'd be very curious to know how they caught this person, if he was in fact cheating. This is really interesting. So I played 95, which is considered a mistake, and then he did take it, which I guess he has to. That almost seems like a very human decision. Knight D7. I played B3, which is best. It's still saying advantage White. Now he starts playing like all best moves, like Queen B6. I play Queen G4. King C7 is best. You see, here's where it starts getting a little suspicious, because, he makes no attempt to protect that pawn. And of course I blunder, though. Really, I'll be honest, like, this game wasn't on my radar, because it wasn't too hard to find the move Knight C5, and then the move Bishop E6 to trap my queen. So, like, I didn't think this guy had cheated against me. That's actually one of the more scary things, is like, I think people can cheat against you, and they can do it in such a way as to where you don't even know that people are cheating against you. They can mix up, their legitimate moves. But where I should have gotten suspicious is when he didn't take my queen. Like, he stops trying to take, like that's very unhuman-like. So, like, he takes there, and I played E6, and I started getting really kind of suspicious right in here. I play E6 check, and then he plays, like, all best moves. I play Bishop F7, this actually did make me a little suspicious, because, like, some of these moves were just a little too perfect. Like, it seemed really kind of strange. Like, his technique, once he got the advantage, his technique was really good. And yeah, then I died. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting to look at to see where I went wrong, and it's also, kind of interesting, because obviously I really dropped the ball when I played Queen takes e6. Apparently I still had an advantage with Rook fd1, and apparently just knight e5 is a mistake. Maybe I can keep things going here with, I guess, Rook c1? Rook c1, just keep the tension. So Rook c1, and I'm still at like +4. It's hard to see how to proceed here. I guess Rook c1, and then we just continue with stuff like Rook e1. And then I guess Queen e2 or something. So like Rook g8, Queen e2, and then they're stuck with kind of ugly looking like Knight e8, Rook e1. We just keep building, building, building. Knight on d6. The computer's having a really hard time just kind of coming up, and then we can finally just play like Knight e5, Knight f7, should be winning. Okay, so I think we just kind of build, and black kind of runs out of moves, so I guess that's how we play it. But yeah, this is a well-known line. I mean, what's interesting is this is the same line that Garry Kasparov, of course, famously lost to in his game against Deeper Blue. But that game, of course, went a little bit differently. That game went h6, knight on 1 to f3, and then h6 question mark by Kasparov. But it was essentially the exact same type of idea. And Kasparov played it a little bit differently. He played queen e7. And if I remember correctly, he was expecting the computer to play queen e7, because apparently some of the engines of the day, as you can see, none of the engines today give queen e7, queen e2. None of this is giving queen e2. But back in those days, there were a couple of engines that were apparently giving queen e2. So this makes me curious about what engine, if this person was, getting engine assistance, what engine this person was using. Because, of course, different engines are going to give different results. But back then, apparently, like Fritz 5 and some other engines were suggesting queen e2, and Kasparov was expecting this, and I guess he was hoping after queen e7, queen e2, he would exchange queens and, of course, get a huge advantage with black. But, of course, what's interesting is no engine today even pops out that suggestion at all. They don't suggest queen e2. They just think the position is awful for white, so they all pretty much universally castle. And, of course, that's what Deeper Blue did in the game. Deeper Blue actually castled kingside, and Kasparov played f takes e6, bishop g6 check, and then bishop f4, I think, was played, and it was a very similar position to what you just saw in my game. Except my game was even better, because the doubled points should make it nearly impossible for development to happen. I just apparently misplayed it. But yeah, I get cheated on a pretty regular basis, and it's kind of a tough topic for me, because, like, I do get refunded the points. They give you the points back, but at the same time, I think it's like, if I know that I'm playing against a computer, I might play a little bit differently, taking into account that I have a computer opponent. And that's kind of unfair. And then the second thing that's unfair about it is a lot of times when I lose to machines, it throws me off more than when I lose to a person, because when you lose to a machine, sometimes it feels like you're almost never even in the game. It just feels like you got outplayed so solidly. That wasn't the case in this game. In this game, I felt like I was in it and I just blundered. But in other cases, it'll throw me off so much it'll hurt my confidence for 3 or 4 games after that. So I feel like, okay, yeah, they refund me the points, but they don't really refund me enough points, because I might lose 8 points for the game, but then I might lose like an additional 20 or 30 points, after I lose that game. But if I go to my, messages, you can just see right here that, I get cheating detection on like a really regular basis. People are cheating. So, they compensated me the points. They bumped my rating back up to 2413 because, of course, my rating was higher by the time they detected it. And, it's frustrating. We got all this cheating for reasons I have no apparent understanding of why people would cheat, but a lot of people do it. And I guess just in modern chess, this is just something we have to deal with. People have access to their computers and they can cheat, and I just I just have to accept the fact that some of my games aren't going to be, real. They're going to be against machines. I'd be really curious to know how many times they've detected cheating and I came out on top. Because that would be cool to find out, is to find out that your opponent cheated. Because in this game, apparently I was at +4 at one point. I'd be curious to find out if I ever played against a cheater and I actually ended up winning the game. But I'd never know. They never tell me when that happens. They only tell me when I lose the points. So anyways, I hope you found this video interesting. And, I hope you learned something new about chess. Sometimes people cheat. Don't let it rattle you. Just keep playing chess. We're human beings. We're never going to, run as fast as cars, or unfortunately, we're probably never going to play chess as well as machines. So anyways, hope you learned something new about chess, and I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much for watching my chess content. If you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. It'll help me bring more content. Then the buttons, it's right. Just push the button. It's subscribe. That's what it says. Please subscribe.